I was gonna try to keep a lot of the original wiring and switches and everything in the car. Now I'm kind of leaning towards just ripping out everything, including the wiring harness, and then rewiring after I get the new motor in. Kind of scared to do this, but I think I'm just gonna, push forward, get this thing completely stripped down, rebuild it, the suspension, the steering box, everything, get it all fresh, drop the motor in, and rewire from there. So kind of nervous, but we're gonna give it our best shot. So here we go. When in doubt, PV blast it out. Just a little bit. Let's get this side too. Well, I'm sure that PV blast helped, but it's still terribly painful to get this bolt in this nut. Finally. Can y'all see? I don't even know where I was aiming. Oh, here we go. Focusing, but see the nasty cracks and everything. It's pretty bad. Yep. So these are also 14 millimeter. This is holding the sway bar in place, but we're gonna replace the bushing there, so just gonna break this loose. Go ahead and loosen this one up too before we take that one all the way out. Oh man. Got it stuck. Sorry for all the ruckus. I mean, it's a tight squeeze. It's always good practice to put all the hardware back in place so you don't lose it. Which I'm probably gonna swap out this nut because it's pretty rusty, but I guess it's not too bad. I'll also drop this bolt back in here. Just so we don't have to look for it later. I don't know why I didn't bring my electric impact up here. That would make everything so much easier. So we got the sway bar out. These are the bushings that are gonna get replaced, and these don't look too bad, but we will clean up the sway bar just so it looks nice. There's a hole that you can put your wrench through, or your socket. These guys are also 14 millimeter and they're tough. Alright, reinforcements. So if you have one of these jack handles, obviously you can't put it in that side, it doesn't fit. But if you take off, well, you take off this handle, and you got something you can slip over, get a little more leverage. So you can tell these are totally shot. So this one is just cracked, and this one's on its way out as well. So it's time to do an upgrade. I'll clean it up a little bit. Alright, let's get this side knocked out. Got the 14 on here. Oh yeah, let's cheat a little bit. That was my thumb. Oh. Okay, so I should have left at least one of these bolts in so this doesn't spin, but oh well. Now you're gonna tighten that one all the way up, just see if it holds. So, loosen this bolt first before you take those all the way out. So we're gonna put all these pieces on so we know how it goes back together. Like a disgusting sandwich. Oh, and we're also gonna mark this one. So this is the driver's side. We're gonna mark the passenger side as well. Definitely gonna get a rebuild kit for this guy. I'm also gonna get new tie rod ends, inner and outer. Regret not washing this car, or like power washing it in Oklahoma before I brought it down here. I could have saved a lot of cleaning that you've seen me been doing. It's always gonna be one of them that gives me so much trouble. We're gonna get it. That's the side I pulled the motor on, if you remember from the last video. So the exhaust actually scraped. I had to like push the car down because after you pull the motor, it tends to raise up quite a bit. So there's a bunch of wheel gap, but it also, I guess, scraped a little bit. The exhaust did on the side of this. So, but no harm, no foul. It's a project car. I just turned the steering wheel, And I need to find a bolt for that hose because it just pissed out all that fluid. I screwed that in as tight as I could, and that should keep that from happening. It seems to be working. We're just gonna tear into these brakes just so if we have any bolts that are seized, we can adjust those now before the new rotors and brake pads come in. But look at this guy I found. Oh yeah. Well, it's Oklahoma for you. Alright, so the slot pins are 14 millimeter. So it's these guys. These are what the caliper slides back and forth on. And these are actually really important to grease. Most people that do brake jobs don't grease these. And so what happens is they get seized onto the caliper. So you ultimately have to like take the whole caliper off and throw it away. That's what happened to my Miata, because I doubt anybody ever, you know, greased these guys when they put them back in. So, pro tip. Alright, so these weren't typical slide pins, but I'm pretty sure they probably have pins in here. So let's see if I can film this while I take it off. So that's your caliper. They sell rebuild kits, and I'll probably end up rebuilding these. But for now, I'm gonna try to just make them work. There's the pads. They actually have a ton of life in them. Still gonna swap them out. Doesn't hurt. But these, so these are actually your slide pins. So kind of twist them. Don't tear your boot. I'm probably gonna have to put the phone down for this. Oh, there we go. So these actually have grease on them. A lot of the time, if it'll focus, people forget to grease these. So ultimately, the caliper gets seized on it because when you compress your brakes, it pinches down on the brake pads, but you want it to release. If it doesn't release, then you're gonna have a dragging, you know, brake, and that's not good. Okay, and we're gonna hang this caliper out of the way. I just hang it on the spring, and then we're gonna get these two bolts off. This one and this one. And then this, that's the bracket for the caliper, so we'll take all that off just to make sure it's free. And as soon as we get the new rotors and pads in, we'll go ahead and rebuild these brakes. So the caliper bracket bolts are 17s, and I'm gonna have to cheat on this one too. So take this bottom one out first. So those two bolts are off, and then so all you do is just grab this whole thing and slide it off, just like that. These rotors, I've never seen them like this, but so they have individual bolts that hold these on. So you actually have to spin this and take each one of these off. So that guy just dropped out of my car. I guess that guy was his dad or his mom. You can't make this stuff up. There's definitely spiders in this car. I don't know if you can see him, but he just like dropped down while I was putting these brakes back together, because I'm done for the day. I'm gonna have to come back and do some more work to this. This car is spider infested. There's another one right there. This back driver rear caliper doesn't even have a top bolt in it, and that's not a factory bolt, so I don't know. Alright guys, I'm done for today. It's after midnight, so I gotta go home. I actually have to work tomorrow, so yep, that's all we got for now, and I hope you enjoyed, and we'll see you next time. Peace.